Ha! Look at this. It works. I shouldn't sound so surprised, but every day is a new day. Hello, Rudy. It's good to, well, not that I'm seeing you, but, it's good to be seen by you. I miss you, man. Marie, welcome. Glad you are here. Ed is here. We can start now. Oh, Miranda's here. Wow. All right. And Daniel's here. It's past his bedtime, though. And yeah, this is actually, it's a real brick wall. Listen to it. I had it in the closet. And I thought I'd put it to good use. Hang on. I got to do this. There we go. That makes me feel a little more comfortable. And Ferguson USA Hot Talk Radio. Well, hello, FUHTR. Marie is stuck on the couch under a cat. Well, who's ruling the roost? That's what I want to know. And Final Focus Productions is here. He's on YouTube. And yeah, sound effects. That's right. And Peter's here. Welcome. Glad to have you. Papa Bear. Of course. Of course. But of course. Let's check the streams, make sure they're working here. 1 second. We need to refresh that screen. And Jens is here. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you. Love to hear what you think about the new vMix replay system. Oh, this is live now, but I can't watch it. How do I watch it? It says, uh-oh, let's unplug it. It says it's live now, but you can't do anything to watch it. So I guess it's just a tease. This show is live, but you just don't rank, so you can't watch it. That's hilarious. What are they thinking? Okay, well, let's to heck with that one. Excuse me just a second here. The cat is only snoring. That's good. Daniel's here. Welcome, sir. Chris is here. I'm glad Chris is here. Yes, indeed. We will start, but 1 sec. I got to make sure our streams are working. Obviously, one of them's working. Let's see. Happening now. Okay. What are they thinking? Okay, well, let's take that one. Excuse me just a second here. The cat is only snoring. Okay, let's see what that looks like full Daniel's screen. Here. Welcome, sir. Turn off that. Turn on that. Oh, it looks pretty good. Dang. It surprises me. All right. Well, let's get out of that. Go back to the other one. Michael is there from Denmark. Good. Rich says this is live right now. Okay. Well, with your reassurance, I'm reassured. Jens says that the new instant replay needs a little bit of polishing, but Martin will get it ready soon enough. Yeah, the problem is that vMix has just been overwhelmed, as have we, with folks calling to do live streaming business. and I'm sure they've had Tim. I was talking to Tim, was it last week? And they've had 10 times the number of emails as they normally have. Holy cow. Clint, I owe you a phone call from like 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh. Jeez. I am sorry. Okay, that's on that page. Let me finish this check. Would somebody mind going to the Facebook group Streaming Idiots and see if you can get the video? I can't get it. Oh, watch live. Let's try that. I didn't see that button. That must be new. Does it work? Jeez. It works. I am sorry. Okay. It even has audio. Well, okay then. Michael Graves is here. Hello, Michael. It's good to see you. I enjoy your comments on Twitter. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Martin Stuckey's here. Welcome. Glad to see you. Scott's here. Holy cow. All right. And then we've got some folks watching on the Streaming Idiots page or group in Facebook. Unfortunately, we can't glean your comments, so I'm watching here. So Chris Morton's there. Kentelki is watching from Romania. Tim Connor and Steve, is that Know-It-All? Oh, no, it's Nowacki. Sorry, Steve. I couldn't resist. Probably not the first time you've heard that. Oh my gosh. And M12 Pop. Facebook's made some changes. Yes, they have. Facebook is waking. Thank you, Miranda. All right. Marie says, we have finally started working at the office, and tomorrow we will get the new fiber connection. Ooh, jealous. They told me that I had a fiber option here. It was only $500 a month. $500 a month. And that was for 50 megs up. Holy cow. That's $10 a meg. Gee whiz. Danielle says, I wonder if someday they will increase the number of replay cameras for the MeMix 4K. I wouldn't hold your breath. It's unlikely. I mean, the doggone software is so, grossly underpriced as it is. Nissan Communications Network. This must be the CEO is joining us this afternoon. And Jim Kennard from San Jose. Welcome. And JP, sorry. Virtual NAB to this. I'm going to need a bigger notebook soon. Oh, really? You're watching two at one time? Yen says, Marie fiber connection equals Streaming Idiots stream. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Running on all devices. I love it. I love it. Chris, this is not fair. He's got fiber. He's got 50 megs at an ADSL price. And Papa Bear just got fiber for $39 a month. Oh my gosh. Kyle is here. Kyle, we've got gear on order. We've got parts on order to build gear for you. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Steep price for fiber. They pay under fit. Well, it's competition. There's just no competition here. I'm on a rural road that just happens to have a lot of truck traffic. Michael has fiber 300, up to 900. For $8 a month? You're lying to me. I may be born at night, but not last night, as they say. Okay. All right. So what do you think of the new backdrop? It is just a piece of plastic that has this giant picture on it. Let me show it to you full screen. I'm kind of liking it. Let's see. Do we have a full screen of that? Is that it? Hang on a second. Let's see. Position. Let's see. Webcam. Okay. PTZ. Disconnect. Positioning. Reset all. There we go. That's the shot I wanted. So this is what it looks like. You can see the corner right here where the plastic has come around the corner, but it doesn't really look like the bricks are in a corner. I need to do something with that, but I don't use this look, and you can see where the floor, the floor is. So we're not really using that look. Hey, Ron, glad to have you. Hey, Jan, glad you're here. You can't keep companies about to tear his data center apart. Oh my gosh. Well, Dave Edwards is here, so we're good. Dave will take your place. Never mind. Never. We'd rather have Dave. Not really. Not really. Yeah, no, I can't mention that on the air. Yes. All right, let's go back to the pre-show graphic right there. There we go. We're still in pre-show, even though the show was supposed to have started 6 minutes ago. I apologize. Jap's production has watched a lot of reruns of the show, but now he's back late. Great to see y'all. Well, we're glad you're back. Yes, we are. And Steedy's here. Welcome. Alpha Cyber is here from the Ukraine. Glad you're here. Uh-oh. Ron Wallace. I love this. Ron Wallace is like, loving vMix HD, but I think I need to upgrade again to vMix 4K. Well, Ron, if you get 4K, you've got instant replay. And the new instant replay is come. Jens says it is looking really good. He said it needs a little bit of polishing, but he thinks it could be out soon. Kenny Hampton is here. Hello, Kenny Hampton. KH. Yep, Dave is here. It is time to start. That's true. All right. So if you're new to the Streaming Idiot Show, I'm delighted you're here. Please join in the chat. This is a good group of folks. They won't bite. And most of them are chatting on the YouTube feed. And if you can't find the YouTube feed, you can go to our website at easternshorebroadcasting.com. The YouTube feed is actually on the front page, but if you go to the Watch Live tab, you can get to the page where it's got the YouTube player on the top and the chat on the bottom. And you can pop either one of those out and put them on different monitors, or I think sometimes when we watch the vMix Fun Time live show at home, Sandy and I will put it up on we've got one of those TVs that'll connect to YouTube, so we'll put that up there, and then I'll chat on my tablet. Oh, Jacob, thank you, Jacob. A big shout out. Oh, hold on, coming right back. Don't go anywhere. Big shout out and a thank you to Ken Richer at Spangler Candy Company. He sent a ginormous bag of Dum-Dums. And, what Streaming Idiot show doesn't need Dum-Dums? So if you need Dum-Dums, you'll have to come by the studio because I'm not sending them to you. These are mine. Putting them back. I also found out that they distribute Smarties, which are Smarties and Dum-Dums. They kind of cancel each other out, don't you know? There you go. Jan is off later. Don't trip on any cables. Maybe vMix will reverse version 24 since it's the virtual NAB the next couple of days. Well, that's a possibility. That's a definite possibility. Yep. I like the brick. It's kind of an old time feel, kind of makes it feel kind of warm. So yeah, there we go. Dum-Dums and mixed nuts. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, let me turn the phone down and we'll switch over to the set. Oh, I've got a question for you that, oh my gosh. Sorry. I just got a notice that somebody sent me $7,000 in my PayPal account. Wow. Doesn't happen every day. So let's turn the phone down in case they're trying to reach me to get their money back. I've got something new on the set today, and I want to see if you can guess what it is, and I'll tell you just a little bit about it, but I think next week we're going to go into it. I do need Swedish fish. Absolutely. And I need bananas. Don't send them to me. I've got something new in the studio, not the backdrop, and you don't get a prize for guessing what it is. And it's not new triggers to make sure that my audio works right. But I want to see if you can tell what it is. And then next week we're going to go into some detail about it. But today we're going to talk. Well, I'll tell you about that when we get there. Let's see. Rafael Martinez says the live broadcast on video production of the crowd was very good. Congratulations on the quality of the content. Well, I didn't have anything to do with the content, but there you go. Let's see, one other thing I want to do here before I get too far. Lemonade is right here, and it is lemonade. And it is awesome. Mark says, for everyone in Canada, Bulk Barn has the best gummy bears and fish. That is when they open. So there you go. Kenny, I appreciate you saying that, because before I started the stream today, I did go in and double check my triggers to make sure that I got them all right. A shout out to Rolf Black, who is watching us on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, which is just right down the road right there. So glad to have you. Glad to have you. Taekwondo replays. Don't you like the wall? Yes, I love the wall. And I did get a haircut. They opened the salons this week. So, I go to a salon, what can I say? But Brenda's been cutting my hair for 25 years. She knows which ones to cut. All right. Enough of this nonsense. Let's go over. Excuse me. Oh, need lemonade. Let's go over to the set. And I think I'm going to just walk over there and we'll start the show. You know what? Yeah, that happens. So we'll start the show when we get over there. Let's see. What's Amnon saying? Come on, guys. Click the like button. It doesn't cost money. Okay, Amnon wants you guys to click the like button. So please click the like button. Chris says that New Zealand shops all open today. Wow. Does that mean you get to go out to dinner and can sit down? I love it. Papa Bear says new items, some lighting. Well, I haven't gotten to the set yet. Yeah. Just do like Sweden. Don't close at all. Those Swedes, they are brilliant. They're brilliant. Okay. Leaving that here. Taking the lemonade. Taking my Xbox, my X Keys 80. I try to get it to the other side of the room. It is corded, has a super long cord, and try to get it to the other side of the room without dropping it this week. In fact, I'm gonna walk over there right now, and in fact, I'm gonna hit that shot first just to make sure the mics do what they're supposed to. Ready? Good. You hear me? I'm far away, but I'm coming into the set. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're there. This is good. I'm loving this. All right. Michael Quist wants to know that I bought an ATM Mini. No. Not ATM Mini. Okay, let's get the show started, and then we'll talk about show stuff. So sit tight, grab a little lemonade. We'll be right back. Well, hello. I'm Tom Sinclair. This is Streaming Idiots. By the way, that graphics, the Jaws of Death and all that cool stuff, that was courtesy of Martin Kay. Martin, hat tip to you once again. Martin did that several years ago and keeps updating it for me, and I really do appreciate that support and the friendship behind it. That's the most important part. So, hey, you're watching Streaming Idiots today. You probably thought you had seen every live streaming show on the face of the earth, and And now you've found this one. You know, all of a sudden, a lot of us have found ourselves at home with nothing to do. What can we do? Well, a lot of us have found ourselves in places where we had lots to do, which is what's happening here at the Streaming Idiots studios, Eastern Shore Broadcasting in Little Fairhope, Alabama. We build PCs for folks that do live streaming, and we are currently have got more than I can count going on right now. But that doesn't mean we don't have time for yours, because we want to help you. We do want to help you. We've positioned ourselves for this moment. We have the knowledge and the skills and the abilities and the wisdom to go with the knowledge. You know, the knowledge is knowing facts. The wisdom is knowing what to do with those facts. And we've got all that, and we would love to help you in any way that we can. Let's see. What do I need to tell you that you don't already know? Well, you can go to our website right down here by my elbow, and see the gear in our store. We'd love to have you make a purchase in our store. That's the only reason why we do this Streaming Idiot show. Is so you'll buy gear from us. Yeah, right. Wink, wink. If you haven't already, we'd love to have you come join us at the Streaming Idiots Facebook group. I apologize for those of you that may have signed up in the last few days. We've kind of, again, overwhelmed by the number of folks that are signing up, want to know about streaming, want to get into a good group, and this is a good group. And so we will process those as soon as we can. But if you haven't joined it, just go to Facebook and do a search for Streaming Idiots, and you'll get the group. You'll like that. And while you're there, you can go ahead and visit our Eastern Shore Broadcasting Facebook page and maybe give us a like there too. You know, we're suckers for likes. And you could like this YouTube video. Why not? Or even comment on it in the comments. Somehow I think YouTube kind of boosts people up that get a lot of comments. So just go in and say hi or something like that. That would be great. So the first question is, what is different with this set today than, I mean, with the whole setup? I mean, if you think about cameras, lighting, microphones, audio, lower thirds, not this chair that's not supposed to be in the shot. Forget about that. But what is different about this? Can you put your finger on what might be different with our setup today? And I'll give you a few minutes to respond, and then I'll tell you, what it is, and then I'll tell you that next week we're going to go into some depth about it. And I think you might be interested. So we'll see. I mean, it's whenever you get new gear, you want to brag about it, right? Yeah. So this is new gear we're testing. Somebody asked us to test it, so we said. Chris says it's a better mic as you're way louder. Really? That's interesting. No, but that's interesting. Martin says I'm a week older. Well, Martin, so are you. Gunnar says the camera. What is different about the camera? Chris says that it's a better mic because I'm way louder. Gunnar says it's a camera, but he doesn't say why. And Martin Stuckey says it's a bird dog. Oh, Mark says that it's a different green screen key. And that's an interesting comment, Mark. I really appreciate that, because I think that's a side effect of what we changed. Michael Quist says better bass in the mic. Really interesting. I like that. Dave says different camera. Guido says green screen. I see a little green on your edges. Oh, you mean my edges? Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check that. I didn't look that. Gunnar just says I look better. And Amnon says it's Jake. It's Rooney. It's Rooney. Yeah, Rooney and Jake are our two Jack Russells. Unfortunately, Jake passed away Sunday morning. Bless his heart. He was 14 and a half years old, and we were up with him all night Saturday night. And I miss that little rascal. He was a little Jack Russell, little white one, and just fast as lightning. Great athlete, could play catch and find the toy and all those other games. And, they steal a piece of your heart. So we'll miss him. Dave says definitely the camera. Kenny says different lighting. Michael Quist says your setup is different. You're not cut off on the edges. Okay. Part of that is that I think last week I was cut off on the edges because I was actually over at the control center and I was using the what do you call it, the Logitech C920 there, and I didn't have, and my green screen wasn't good there. It kind of ended where it shouldn't. That's one of the reasons why I've got the brick wall up. I really like that. Papa Bear says facial cream. Dave says NDIHX. And Clint says that Rooney's transparent. Well, he's always been transparent. Yes, he's always been transparent. Yeah, thanks, Amnon. I think so too. Mark says, no, he's just green around the gills. That's something else. And Mark says a lens filter of some kind. Chris says a ghost then. I'll give up. And Amnon says, you finally updated vMix. Well, actually, I did. Yeah. But I don't think that's the difference because the updates between .51 and .54 where we are now really are not, I don't think they're anything that's impacted me unless there's something going on behind the scenes that that I don't know about and that Martin didn't share. Marie says, sorry about Jake. Damn, those fur babies stealing our hearts. Absolutely. Yeah. And Marie Sandy is just torn up. Still, she tried to call the vet this morning and couldn't make it through the call. Isn't that crazy? Just little doggies. Kenny says Tom has 5 lights in front of him. Ooh, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you counting reflections, Ken? That's good. That's not the difference. But that's really, well, actually there's 6, but that one is pointed sideways. It's over at the control station. So there we go. So Chris says, so you are not on 24 then? No, that's correct. Thank you, Miranda. Thank you very much. And Otis is like, okay, cut to the chase. What's the answer? The answer is, what is the answer? All right, the answer is, number one, my chair is in a different position. There's more distance between me and the green screen. I'd say if I lean way back, I can just barely touch it. I did adjust the lighting up here because I think they were just a little too bright. And I adjusted the side lights because I thought they were a little too bright. It was washing me out. It was blowing me out just a little bit. Glasses, same glasses, just cleaned them. It's possible that taking down the green screen on the other side of the studio and putting up that big brick wall drape, and you saw that in the pre-show, that may have affected the lighting in here a little bit. The microphone, it's interesting that you mentioned the mic. I had this mic turned down all the way because I was doing some other things with audio this week. And you know how I am with microphones. Sometimes I'll leave a mic open. And I did, and they were like, Tom, we're hearing you, and then we're hearing you again as an echo. And I said, okay, I'm just going to turn that sucker down. So I turned down channel 2 on the Behringer UMC 404 HD, my audio device that allows me to bring in 4 individual microphones into vMix as if they were 4 individual microphones. So this is mic 2. That's mic 2 right there. And Dave says, quit beating around the bush. Get to the point. Oh, come on, Dave. You got to build up a little bit of the suspense. As I'm narrowing the focus. I'm telling you what it could be, but I don't think it is. All right. So they were talking about the mic, and so I turned it all the way down. And the way the Behringer works, and I'm not really fond of this, but it is what it is in order for me to get the audio out of both mics here, I have got to crank that Behringer gain, almost all the way over to max. If I go to max, it'll clip. So I'll go to max and then I'll back off just a second. And so I suspect what happened is that I went to max and I didn't back off quite as far as it had previously been backed off. Or maybe that, I'm on a different mic. This mic here is an Audio-Technica AT 897, which is about about a 6-inch, maybe a 7-inch, 8-inch shotgun mic. And I really like it. It's really done a good job for me. And it allows me to have multiple guests in here without having to mic everybody. And then over at the control desk, I've got an Audio-Technica ATR 2100. That's that inexpensive, USB XLR mic. And so I think the sound is good. Michael, it's like drum roll. Ron Wallace says, Tom, I believe I solved my audio delay issue. Good. I'm glad to fill. Otis said, Chris says we have an hour to fill. No. Dave says, I need to skip to the loo, dancing now. Okay. Well, Dave, I can beat around the bush until you get back. That's okay. Just, make sure you cut your mic off before you flush. All right. So it's not the mic, but that does explain why the mic is different. It's not the lighting, even though I did change the lighting. Same green screen. Same chair. I love this chair. This nice little color. And I've got 3 of these. I got them at a yard sale, believe it or not. And so the difference is, even though I did update vMix, I guess there are a lot of changes, but the main change is, of course, you're correct. It is a different camera. Previously, I had been using the PTZ Optics 12X SDI version, not the NDI version, but the SDI version. And so just bringing it in via SDI, although sometimes, since it has HDMI and it has the ability to do 60 frames a second, on some previous shows, I had brought the video in from the camera over HDMI at 60 frames a second. There's a little dial on the back of the camera that you can change to change the frame rate and the resolution too, for that matter. So I changed it from 1080p 30 to 1080p 60. But here I'm working with a different camera altogether. It is a PTZ Optics. It is an NDI camera, but it's a box camera. It's a I think they're calling it an EV. Or maybe an EZ. I'll have to get. I'll give you more details on it next week when we get in. In fact, Paul Richards from PTZ Optics may come on the show and we can talk about it together. It's very reasonably priced. It is I guess you would call it a digital zoom, but it starts, even though it doesn't broadcast in 4K. It has a 4K sensor, and so when you zoom in, it has some sort of electronic technology. How about that for a throwaway phrase? It has some technology in it that allows it to maintain a 1080p image, even though it's zooming in digitally, because it's starting with a 4K picture. But the picture you see is never 4K. It has 2 SDI ports on it. And I think one of those is for that full frame picture, and then the other is the zoom picture. I haven't quite figured that out yet. And then, of course, it's NDI HX. But still, it's a pretty decent picture. It's about it's about yay big and about yay long. It will do PoE, but it also plugs into an outlet. It'll do SDI times 2 and IP and NDI. So I guess you could get 4 streams out of it. There's no HDMI. And it has I guess you would say it's probably about a 2x or 2.5x zoom. I am zoomed in right now. Excuse me. Thanks, X keys, for the cough button. I'm zoomed in right now 100%, which I think is about between 2 and 2x. And the distance between me and the camera is probably about 6 feet. So I had to move the camera closer to me, and I had to zoom it in all the way in order to get this shot. But I think this shot is 1080, although it may be slightly less than that. It's probably no worse than 720, although we'll get the details on that. Next week. So it's sort of a virtual PTZ, but not, in that the vMix controls for this camera, it will still zoom it, but I need to find out more about it as to how it was zooming about. Oh, Clint says that's the camera I was calling about. Well, there you go. I think it would make a good. It's about $500. It's not an interchangeable lens. You can't mount a filter on it. It kind of is what it is, but I think it's going to make a good camera for like a school studio. I'm going to pitch this to the schools that I'm working with. I think it's going to make a pretty good camera. I think somebody was asking me about this in church use. Maybe it could give you your wide shot, kind of that safe shot that you need to go to on occasion. I don't think it's got enough zoom in it to be able to help you if you're over, if you're over 20 feet. I don't think you're going to be able to get that shot. Maybe when we get into post show, I can zoom it all the way out into this set, and you can see what the zoom is. Dave says it's between 2 and 2x. Yeah, between 2 and 2x, 2 and 3x. Sorry about that. HX or HX2? That's a good question. Don't know the answer to that question, but we'll find out next week when we get Paul on there. Let's see. Martin says it looks like SD enlarged to HD. Well, it could be. I mean, it could be that we've taken HD and we've zoomed it in enough to go to 720 or something like that. Ron says, X-Keys, how useful are they thinking about purchasing? Ron, I use my X-Key 80 continually, and you can see it's got all sorts of buttons on it. I finally gave up just, because I was switching labels all the time. And I said, I'm just going to program vMix. So my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buttons are programmed to whatever my numbered inputs are, 1 through 8. And so if I want something to be able to use to hit real quickly on this button, for example, if I want to go to this picture of the portable PC we're building, I can just hit that button and boom, we go right back there because that's in input position number 5 on in vMix right now. Go back to that shot right there. Rolf asks, can you mount it on a tripod? It is tripod mountable. Interesting thing, it's got dual threaded, what is that, quarter 20 threads on the bottom and dual quarter 20 threads on the top. So I guess you could hang it from something and you wouldn't have to flip the image. So there you go. That looks pretty cool. And Martin says maybe it looks sharp when on the wide shot. We'll have to see. And you gotta remember it's me operating the gears, so there's a little bit of fudge factor there, we should say. Ken Ricker is here. Ken missed the shout out earlier where we talked about the Dum Dums, but hat tip to Ken for our Dum Dum supply. We thank you very much. Jens says, can you show pictures of it for better understanding? Yes, I can. Probably won't this week. I don't know that the camera is even in production yet. I think what is all these noises happening right here in the studio? I'm not sure where they are in production of the camera. But again, next week we'll find out. This week I just wanted to tease you guys with it and let you have a look at what it might look like. And perhaps I'll get it dialed in a little bit more. I mean, this is like Streaming Idiot took it out of the box, put it on the tripod, plugged it into Ethernet, plugged it into power, even though I didn't need to, and plugged it into SDI, and then brought it into vMix as an NDI input. And I haven't tweaked it. I did. I think it's using. I did. I take that back. I did go in and change the IP address on it. So that I could address it in vMix and be able to to attach it to the PTZ function. So there you go. So yeah, Mark says, ding, the fries are done. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I got one of those degrees that lets me say in my job, would you like fries with that? Yeah. I worked at Burger King when I was in college. Yes, sir. So come back next week and we'll have more details on the cam. Yes, this was a tease. It definitely was a tease, but I wanted you to see it, and I wanted you to kind of see it in an unvarnished format. Before it got tweaked, before we did any polishing or anything to it. Just taking it out of the box, throwing it on a tripod, putting it into service, and we see. Dave says it's called an EPTZ. It simulates pan, tilt, and zoom operations inside of a large resolution pixel space. And I bet Dave just made that up. He said, for example, a 4K image space allows 3x lossless digital zoom with a 720p output. So this is 720p right here. Martin is exactly correct. Dave says, and this is Dave now, he's not reading this anywhere. This is Dave says, with 2 unique SDI outputs, Tom's production can effectively cut between wide and tight camera views from the same camera. Yep. And so we'll play with that maybe in post show and definitely next week. I'm not set up here. I need to have 2 SDI ports in the PC. I only got one right now. I can steal one from somewhere. I'm sure we've got an SDI card of some kind around here somewhere. We sure do. So yeah, Mark, so it's like a built-in regions of interest, but within the camera. And all you have to do is pan and tilt and zoom the camera to your desired location. And as long as you don't exceed 2x, you're at 1080p. And if you max it out at 3x, which is what I am right now, it's at 720. So there you go. There you go. Thank you, Dave. Dave always saves my bacon. Yeah, I tell you what, it's so nice to have people that will cover for you. Kenny says, I think the cam will do digital tracking as well, based on based first on the eyes, then nose, and lastly mouth. Worth a look in software. Interesting. I like it. Maybe that's something coming. Keaton says, so you get virtual pan and tilt about 10 degrees? Don't know. Haven't measured. Welcome, HGB. So there you go. Marie says, Tom, sounds like you have Messenger running on your system. Well, I do have Facebook open on my phone and on one PC. So that's probably what it is. My apologies. I'm an idiot. What can I say? What can I say? That's right. And Daniel says, and the people like you. Well, either that or they're trying to track me down. I've been a little elusive lately. We're getting just tons of phone calls and tons of emails. And if you're watching and I haven't returned your call or your email, my apologies. It wouldn't hurt to send me another one just in case. Just in case. Just on the Eastern Shore Broadcasting front, we're pleased that we are working with a major court system in a very large municipality in Texas. We're working with an international conferencing company who is doing vMix in the cloud for their conferences, which are now all virtual conferences. We're working with another conferencing company on using BirdDog P200 cameras in remote locations and tying those all in either to a central location or tying them in the cloud. That's a really fun project. I'm enjoying that one. We are talking with a major college sports conference about providing vMix technical support for them on an ongoing basis. So there are really a lot of fun things going on around here that they're just they're just cool. They're just good stuff, and I appreciate all of your support in that. It's really been fun to. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not saying goodbye. Yes, that's it. Ken says he will move to Fairhope if I have a job for him. Wow. Well, I tell you what, moving to Fairhope is its own reward. That's for sure. But yes, Ken, we ought to talk. Not about moving to Fairhope, but we just ought to talk. So there you go. So it's a great time to be in the live streaming world. My good friend Cliff Sobel up at the Streamcast Network in Queens, New York, is having a similar response from people that suddenly decide they need to do live streaming, and he and I have been talking together off and on, sort of a collaboration, kind of a informal mastermind collaboration between the two of us for several years. And for those of you in the business world, when you talk about marketing, we've talked about marketing, and the marketing method that I use, it's not very sophisticated. It's called putting yourself in the path of traffic. It's just walking in the middle of the street where the cars are. That's right. Yeah, it's the kind of thing an idiot would do, but it really is the key for us to build our business is just to go where the people are that are looking for what we do. It sounds really simple, but sometimes it's not really simple at all. And so sometimes you have to, sometimes you take honey to the bees, and sometimes you bring the bees to the honey. And so the Streaming Idiots show is bringing the bees to the honey, at least sometimes. But when it spins on out there into the interwebs and does its own job and gets picked up and shared and passed along, then the honey goes out to the bees, and the bees can taste the honey and decide they want more and come back to the source. That's the plan. This weird, crazy time that we're in right now has taken what would normally be, maybe a 2-lane highway of putting myself in the path of traffic. And all of a sudden I'm on an 8-lane freeway in the path of traffic, and the traffic's moving really fast, and it's zoom, zoom, zoom. So if you need some assistance in marketing, don't call me. I don't have a clue. I just put myself in the path of traffic. It's totally organic. I will say that having 400 or 500 videos out there on YouTube and other places is really made all the difference in the world, because it goes back, well, the first show in this series that has become Streaming Idiots was in July of 2012. So this summer will be the end of our 8th season, the beginning of our 9th season. And that kind of long history really has been important for a lot of people as they're trying to qualify, who shall I do business with? Who shall I trust? Whose opinion am I going to pay attention to? Who am I going to hire to help me steer through what's going on right now? And so it's nice to be able to, well, I don't even have to say I've been there. The record speaks for itself. So if you're thinking about doing something like that, I encourage you, go ahead and spin a bunch of videos out there. You don't have to put out a ton all at once, but the key is just regularity. Get yourself on a schedule, get them out there, do all the meta tags and the SEO and all that kind of stuff that you need to, of course. But get it out there, get it working for you, because it continues. Some of my most popular videos are videos that we did back in 2000, maybe 2015, 2014, are still getting hits because the basics are still important. So there you go. Chris says he tries for bees and gets wasps. That's good. Oh golly. Zoom has been interesting. Zoom has been the videos that we've done in the last couple of months about Zoom have gotten a lot of hits, as people are, basically they're using Zoom for conferencing, and now they want to use Zoom for live streaming, or combining conferencing with live streaming. There was some chat in the Streaming Idiots group this past week about something going on with Skype. I forgot who posted it, but you'll want to take a look at Skype. Something in Skype, and I don't know if it's a beta or if it's really have been released. Oh, Eric's here. Oh, thank goodness we can start. That Skype now will somehow allow you to capture in vMix the individual video feeds from the individual Skype guests. Even though it's one Skype call with multiple guests, you're not doing a screen capture where you're capturing a part of the screen, but you're actually, maybe it's NDI, maybe it's something else. So we'll be exploring that and get some information to that. Maybe we'll test it on a show one day, and it'll be fun to play with. And it might give you some options there. You know, sometimes I haven't experienced it, but there's sometimes when vMix call just doesn't work for some folks because of the quality of their internet, maybe not their local internet, but the internet between them and wherever their caller is, that there's just some farmer with cows on the road in the middle of the internet that's slowing the traffic down. That's what we see here in the Fairhope area. You know, you have to make sure you don't go out at certain times of day because the cows are in the road. Oh, John says that was him. I think it was. Yes, I think JB it was. So go to the Streaming Idiots group and look up John's comment about that. It was very good. He says Skype is able to output NDI video, only the desktop version, not the Windows Store version. And I think so far as audio is concerned, it has a mix on the audio. It won't do just the speaker audio, but you know, all that can change. Anything can change. YouTube live stream now, is that what it is? Anyway, that's going away. That's going away September 1st. vMix is removing it from its options of streaming destinations. So, you know, we'll expect that to change. Those of you that use Facebook for your live stream and schedule your streams and try to go back and edit them before they stream, like you make a typo or you need to add a picture or something like that, they've changed that interface completely. Have they made it better? I don't know. It's different. Maybe it's better. I haven't researched it enough to know what's new. I just look for the stuff I need to use because, you know, it's time is of the essence. We got to get moving here. Chris says he thought Microsoft was going to Teams. Yeah, I've been working with folks that are working with Teams. I think Teams is half-baked. I just don't think Teams is there yet. Teams, the last time I used Teams, which was this week, it only allowed you to see 4 participants at a time. So that would be, you know, I could see 4 other people unless, I guess maybe I was the 4th person, then I would take one of those spots. It's not like Zoom where it keeps rearranging the screen to add, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 callers. But it does rearrange the screen when it drops from 4 to 3 or from 3 to 2. So it's not very good for a screen capture. But, you know, in that sense, it works kind of like Zoom. It works kind of like Skype. You know, I guess it's based on Skype because Microsoft owns Skype. But it seems to be a little bit of a different product. It was kind of interesting, and we'll go to post-show here in just a second. But it was kind of interesting working with Teams this week. I realized that Teams does an automatic mix minus, of course. And so because we were trying to take the output, the audio output out of Teams, all that mix of audio, bring it into vMix so that we could broadcast it. And what we found out is whoever the speaker was, I mean, the host that was there that was running vMix, if we took the audio out of Teams and sent it to vMix, it did not include their audio. Even though their audio was the primary audio that was going into Teams right there, it didn't output their audio because it was doing that as an effort to do a mix minus. So if they were listening on a headset or listening on a speaker, they wouldn't hear themselves. They wouldn't hear themselves delayed. So we had to add their audio back in when it got over to vMix. I mean, you can add audio in both places. You can share audio. You can't share video. You remember. So that was kind of interesting. Kenny says that Teams is going to 9 viewers on the screen by the end of the month. There you go. They're making progress. They're only, 3 years behind Zoom, 4 years behind vMix. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. So let's close out this segment of the show, and we'll head back over to the control room and to the control table, the control station. How about that? And have some pre-show together, some post-show. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. Okay? Okay. And we're out. There we go. We're done. If you're calling me from Salina, Oklahoma, I'm not taking your call right now. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. All right, let's see. Let's get some comments up here so we can see. Ron says he used vMix Call today when he interviewed head coach Robbie Robertson of Coastal Alabama South on his show, The Interview. Cool, man. Why don't you post a link to that in the chat in case people want to see it? Because people might want to see it. I think, although I'm not sure if you can post links in this stuff or not. We'll have to see. And I'm quiet again. No, my volume is not as high. Yes. Well, let's see. Looks like they're about the same level there. Did I add some decibels or some EQs? Yeah, I've got some EQ. I've got some EQ on that mic over there that I bet I don't have on this one right here. But I do have decibels on this one. EQ. No, let's do a little EQ. I use the old U-shaped EQ. All right, let's try that one. See how that does. There we go. There we go. Hello, Cliff. We were talking about you earlier, talking about standing in the putting yourself in the path of traffic. Accessible Globe TV said Microsoft will probably keep improving it till you can't use it. Yeah, or till it won't run because it's too bulky. Coffee time. So, Rolf, where are you in Mississippi? Are you, and were you ever in Orange Beach? Cliff says, I know I was here. Well, that was news to me. Robbie Robertson. Okay, yeah, that's right. There we go. Dave says you can hear slight pops clicks when you adjust the EQ. Are you sure that wasn't my mouse? But it could be. The beautiful you. That's right. We have. I arrived at the studio this morning to find out that the power was off, and the young lady that runs the beauty salon next door had her door open, and she was in the dark, and she said today was the first day when everybody was going to come back. And the first day I had a full schedule, and within 5 minutes it was back on. Chris says the top end is a bit strong. Well, we can take something off the top. How about that? There we go. Bay St. Louis, Waveland. Oh my gosh, Waveland got smacked. Was that Katrina that smacked Waveland, or was that a different storm? I remember doing some work over there with some folks that needed some opinions about mold way back when. And the stories were just amazing. I mean, 2 miles inland, they were flooded. 2 miles inland. I mean, the interstate had debris all over it from flood, from the rising water from the hurricane. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Okay, so let's see. Let's look at this camera a little bit, and we'll do some more of this next week. But let's find the camera. Here's the camera. Here's the camera. Let's turn off the. Well, let me show you the camera first. Here is the camera. That's the camera. So let's turn off the chroma key So we'll turn that off so you can see that. And let's go into the PTZ control, and we'll just go back to, that's the full width shot. Little bit of a fisheye. The camera is about 6 feet from the chair, and so maybe about 10 feet from the green screen. You can see Dan, the banana guy, just peeking over some boxes to the left. And I can zoom in. I don't know how much I'm zooming in, but that right there, oh, I guess that right there is full zoom. And then I had panned down just a little bit, and that was the shot that we were doing during the show. Katrina, he says, and you lost your house. Oh man, that's no good. Dave says it's 104 degrees in California. That's amazing. So let's go back to the full shot. Now, obviously at this shot, we can't pan or tilt because we don't have, this is the full image. So if we come in, let's see how many clicks it is to go full zoom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 13 full clicks. So let's just call it 12 full clicks. So 4 clicks would be maybe 1080p, and no, 6 clicks would be 1080p. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 1080 right there. And that camera is about 10 feet away from the green screen, and the green screen is about 10 feet wide. So that'll give you an idea of the FOV, as Dave calls it. The field of view, not temperature. So there you go, field of view, 104 degrees. Actually, 104, well, I guess it's 104 degrees there too. But at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clicks, we've got that much pan that way, that much pan that way. If we go 6 more clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's it. And then we've got a little bit more pan, and then a little bit more pan that way. And then, of course, so there you go. That's that. And I can't show, I don't think there's an easy way to show you what the camera looks like today. But Dave said the clock is fuzzy. Let's see. Let's take a look at the clock and see. So let's zoom all the way in. We'll go up to the clock. And yeah, the clock is a little fuzzy, but it also, maybe the camera is focusing on that piece of tape that's hanging off of my boom right there. That tape is so that I remember not to hit the boom with my head. Or it may just be, that anything kind of in the periphery of the shot is going to be a little on the foot. Let's see what Dan looks like. If we can zoom in on Dan Man. Yeah, Dan's not too bad. Let's see what that looks like here, full screen. Yeah, that's a little soft around the edges. A little soft. But for its purpose, it might work very, very well. For its purpose, it might work very well. Dave says the image is tearing during the pan. Yeah, and we're not sure. I'm not sure that I'm panning correctly. I've got this connected over NDI, and in vMix, I've got it connected as a PTZ Optics Z cam. If I disconnect it from the Z cam and connect it as a Visco UDP cam, we'll do the same thing. Let's go back to the cam over here and see if I have control at all. Yeah, there we go. So let's zoom all the way in. I think the zoom controls at this point should be the same. And you tell me if you see tearing at that point. Now certainly I can slow down the pan speed in vMix, and that's going to help the tearing. And we can slow it way down. But that's within vMix, and I'm not exactly sure how vMix is communicating with this camera and telling it to zoom. I would assume that it is. Let's see if we can add, if I can add the SDI version of the camera easily. I think I can, I have before. So we'll go to the Decklink Mini Recorder 4K, SDI, 1920 1080, NTSC 2997. And yeah, that's the SDI version of the camera. And this, let me get, this is the HDMI version of the camera. So I'm going to cut it on 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the HDMI version. That's the SDI version. You can see the coloration is a little bit different. But I have tweaked the color on this shot. I tweaked that color before I started the show. This is bringing that camera in just raw. If I try to connect this SDI shot, what do I get? I connect it, and I can't control. I can't control what the camera does at this point. Let's disconnect. Let's try the Z cam, and we'll connect with Z cam and try to zoom. Yeah, I'm not getting anything by trying to control the the SDI version of that camera. So there you go. Chris is here. Welcome, Chris. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Dave says slight stutter on slow pan. There you go. Chris, I just got the booms off of Amazon. They were really inexpensive and did what I needed. So there you go. We'll see. We'll see more about this cam. I think it has a place. We'll just have to see how well it fits into that place. That's kind of the thing. How well does it fit into the how well does it fit into the price point, and how well does it fit for the job that needs to be done. So that's kind of what we're up against right now. Let's see, can we get into this and see? No, I guess not. Maybe there. No. All right. Welcome, Jim. Glad to have you. Let me get back to the pre-show, the post-show shot. There we go, right there. So that is that, and that is that. And a hat tip to Ronald Wallace for that good interview. Ron, were you able to post the URL for that interview? And Six String Brian, I'm sorry I missed your comment earlier. Says I use a VidiU and Bond cell modems and Ethernet. Does this give me faster upload speed or just a more stable connection? I don't know if anybody's answered that question yet, but my guess would be probably more stable. But that whole bonding thing is an interesting discussion. But yeah, thank you, John, for leading the discussion on Facebook, the Streaming Idiots group, about what's going on with Skype. I think that will be a great alternative for folks that are having a difficult time making a connection, but need to get that individual video. That will be most helpful. Most helpful. All right, let's see what's up. Virtual NAB coming up. Yes, indeedy. And what else? What else? What else? I am trying to, but I'm not doing a good job of it. Trying to just check and see how this stream looks. It looks pretty good there. And where is the Watch Live page? There we go. But that doesn't tell me. What about that shot? Will that shot tell me? Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. And Ron says you can go to the YouTube channel Ballin' Down South to see his interview. So there you go. That's a good one. Did you put the URL in later? I need to go back and see if I can allow that. Because no, you didn't. Okay. Because I don't think it'll always allow a URL. So there you go. Cool. All right. If you're interested in vMix in the cloud, we're going to be doing some more with that. If you're interested in SRT, we're going to be doing some more with that. I think you know, in these times, especially with the uncertainty that we're still living under it in some parts of the country, we're going to have to make a little longer term plans than maybe we thought about how to handle conferences and big meetings and things like that, things that still need to go on. I had somebody, you know, contact me this morning about a conference that they wanted to hold in Mobile, Alabama, with a main room and 8 breakout rooms, and they wanted to live stream all 9 of those because they didn't think that they would have the physical audience present that they would normally have. Normally they would have a couple thousand people, but they only expected, well, they didn't know what to expect. This is a conference in November. Even though we may be open up down here in South Alabama, it doesn't mean that the people that would normally attend this conference would be open and feel comfortable coming. So they were looking for a conferencing alternative. So that's why, and they called us, and so we'll see how we can help them. If we can't do it, we'll maybe partner with somebody else that can. 9 live streams at the same time is probably more than one guy's job. We'll just have to see. Although, you could put 9 of these cameras in there, and I think these cameras will do their live stream right from inside the camera as long as they have internet connection. And they are NDI and they are PoE. So, yeah, you can get 8 of those cams and set them up in rooms. You wouldn't even need a camera guy. And I think you can plug audio right into it over a 3.5 millimeter jack. So there you go. So Mark says it's the first live show he's been able to catch in months. Well, you're working too hard. You need to take some time. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. We've got a bunch of PCs to build for some folks that are hoping to get live streaming real soon, which is our goal for them as well. But I appreciate you taking time to check in with us today. Check in with us again next week when we'll have more information about this camera, and maybe even have somebody from PTZ Optics come on to talk about it and why they designed it the way they did, and what the intended use are. You know, I mean, you never know when you throw a product out there into the wild if people are going to use it the way you intended to use it. They may find a better way of using it than you intended. So we'll tune in on all that next week. Thank you guys for watching today. I appreciate your time and your thoughts. If you haven't already, join the Streaming Idiots group on Facebook. It's a great group. We've got, 40 or 50 people waiting to get in right now. I apologize. I'm a little behind on that. But we'll get you in real quickly. And it's a great community of folks that you can share, you can get information from, and nobody's going to hassle you for asking, the same stupid question that somebody else asked last week, because that's just the way it is. We listen when we need to hear it, and when we don't need to hear it, we don't listen, and that's okay. Everybody else is going to be understanding of that. So, as Mark says, thanks everyone, and stay safe, and we will see you soon. Let me see if I can give you a little graphic to kind of get you out of here. Yeah, there we go. We'll try with this one. Y'all take care.